Hey Jackson, should I fix your, you have a little something on your nose. What were you eating today? What were you
donut.
eating? A donut? What flavor was your donut?
Strawberry.
Strawberry? How do you say strawberry?
Strawberry.
Alright guys, so today I wanted to do a 3-year update for Jackson. It's Sunday, we just got back from church. Strawberries. And we stopped at the donut shop and we got a strawberry donut. But I wanted just to like have a moment to share some updates on Jackson now that he's 3. I took him to the doctor this week and got some feedback on like his weight and his height. And just talk about all the things that we normally do in these updates, like his sleep, his eating, and his milestones, and just kind of where he's at. Jackson, have you been a nice boy today? Mm-hmm. Yeah? What do you like to play with these days? What's your favorite toy?
Mama, I know my favorite toy, like...
What's your favorite toy?
A car one.
A car one, right?
I like cars.
Yeah, anything that's a car. Do you want to show your friends some of your favorite cars? What is that one?
Open the doors.
The door's open? Is that cool? What color is it?
Blue.
Is it dark blue or light blue?
Light blue.
Light blue. Which one?
The yellow one.
What is it?
It opens.
It opens in the back? What do you put inside?
Car.
Another car, obviously. I also wanted to just like get some clips of him just kind of talking and doing his thing, so you have an idea of like how he explains things. This car?
What?
You can just kind of see him in action, and then we'll get into his stats.
It's fit. It's yellow.
It's yellow?
Yeah.
Cool. He was also wearing a hat today, by the way, so his hair is looking pretty crazy. All right, so how many cars are there? 2. That's right. Let's see if we can count some more cars. Let's see. Can you count those cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 cars. Good job. How many wheels do the cars have?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 wheels.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 18.
Okay, so we've got to work on the counting once we get a little higher.
14,
But good job, Jackson.
19.
All right, so that's just him like playing, so that way you guys have an idea of like some of the things that he'll do these days. Anything that has wheels at this point, that's his favorite thing to play with. Oh, he loves his cars, and that's no surprise to any of you guys that are like regulars here. So let me talk about his stats. I have like the little paper from the doctor here, and this is not even his, this is Riley's. Hold on. All right, so Jackson went to the doctor. He was more like 3 years and a month old. So not exactly 3 years, but like 3 years and a month old. His birthday's in December. So in terms of his height, for his height, he was 35 inches tall, which puts him in the 3rd percentile for height. And then for his weight, he was weighing 28 pounds and he was in the 25th percentile for weight. So of course, you guys know if you've been around for a while, we have always struggled with Jackson and his weight and his height. He's always been on the lower percentiles. So honestly, I never know if to be super worried about it, to be super concerned. So I go to the doctor, and like if they tell me I need to be concerned, then that's when I start having a panic attack. But if they tell me that he's fine, if they tell me that he's on his like little growth curve or chart, whatever, then I'm not so stressed out. So the doctor actually, surprisingly, told me that she's not at all concerned with him at this moment, that he is on his curve and that he's actually continuing to go up in his curve. So that definitely puts my mind at ease that he hasn't like fallen off or that he's not like plateauing. He's going where he needs to go, but he is gonna be a smaller kid. Like I never expected him, excuse me, to be a really big kid because I'm 5'3", so I am not tall in the slightest. And Joe is also 5'6". I asked Joe the other day, how tall are you? He said 5'6". So his dad is not very tall either. So he's not gonna be a 6-foot tall kid. So the doctor told me that they actually have like a way to kind of guesstimate how tall kids will be. So usually they'll look at what their height is at 2.5. And then I think if I'm not mistaken, like they double it at that point, and then that's like a rough estimate of how tall they'll be like, you know, once they're full grown. So based on that, the doctor's like, he's just gonna probably be like around like his dad's height. He's not gonna be a super big kid, so that's fine. So even though he's in the 3rd percentile, I don't really have to panic. She did say that later down the road, like if we hit like the puberty age, you know, if we wanna discuss like growth hormones or things like that, that's always an option. But right now, it's not something that I have to be worried about. So I'm happy with that. And then in terms of his weight, the fact that he's in the 25th percentile, I think that's actually pretty good. I think there's been other times where he's been in like even less percentiles. So I'm fine with that. In terms of his eating, like it's not surprising to me that he is where he is because we've always struggled with Jackson's eating. So that's like, I guess, the next thing that we can talk about. So going into just his eating habits, Jackson has been the pickiest eater. He is slowly coming around, slowly starting to try eating things like chicken nuggets. We had a big win where he ate like a couple chicken nuggets a couple days in a row. Then the next day he actually rejected it. So I'm hoping that we can get back on track on the eating of the chicken nuggets. But more often, I feel like he's at least venturing into like trying some new stuff. Like today we went to lunch and I ordered the kids like a pizza, flatbread pizza to split with French fries. And Jackson actually dipped his French fries in ketchup. Again, like the little things like that make me happy because there have been times where he won't even try that. So the fact that he's trying things makes me happy. He will now eat pizza. So like on Fridays, we order pizza. It's Pizza Fridays. And he'll have like 3 slices of pizza. Not like full giant sizes of pizza. But he'll have like decent sized pizza slices for his age. And that's something that he wouldn't have done even 6 months ago. So I think we're getting there. He loves to eat fruits, so he'll eat all kinds of fruits, any berries, bananas, apples. He could eat fruit all day. It's really the protein that we have a hard time with. So I'm still like doing the best that I can. The doctor did say that if he will drink milk, which he will, Jackson loves milk, so she said to offer it to him with every meal. She recommended at this point that I give him 2% milk, so that's what I'm gonna be giving him. Like all this year, I've been giving him whole milk for the most part, so we'll transition him to a 2% milk and then offer it to him a couple different times a day. And some days I'm sure he will eat, like drink that all. Some days maybe he'll be fine with just like 1 glass. But the doctor that we saw yesterday was very much of like the whole mentality of like, don't force your kid to eat. Like, I'm sure some of you guys have seen like a lot of like the concepts like on Instagram accounts and stuff. Like, it's your job as a parent to decide what, when, I think like where you deliver the food. So you get to decide what you're gonna serve. It's their job to decide whether or not they want to eat it or how much they want to eat. So like that whole philosophy is always something that I've struggled with because especially when Jackson's been at the like bottom of like his little growth chart, it's always stressed me out and I've always felt like I need to somehow force him to eat some food. Otherwise he's not going to grow. But I think given that he's in the 25th percentile now, I can just like maybe like just be a little bit more laid back about it. Obviously continue to serve him some healthy meals. Like, you know, my kids have a lot of sugar. They have plenty of sugar, more sugar than they should have, but do a better job of just giving healthier snacks, just making sure that they have the ability or like the option to eat the food that I give them, you know, different times of the day. So that's kind of where we're at with his food. The only other thing that I give him at this point, like in terms of like supplements or vitamins or whatever, I do give him a multivitamin. I use the Haya vitamins. I've used the Mary Ruth's, is it? Before, but those are gummies. And so then I had like the brand reach out to me and like they sent me some to try out. I'm still not working with them. I'm not like an affiliated partner or anything like that with them yet, but I have been liking them and I've been trying them. The kids like them and they're not gummies. So they're like little, they look like just little chewable vitamins. So Jackson will have one of those a day. And that's pretty much it. So I'll keep you guys posted on how he does with his food. Maybe one of these days I'll do like an updated what my kids eat in a day video. Maybe that'll be helpful. Maybe it'll be super boring because the kids pretty much eat the same thing every day, but we shall see. Hi, are you gonna be super cuddly with me today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this kid is still like a stage 5 clinger and I share videos like on Instagram and stuff of him all the time. He is very much a mama's boy. I don't know how many of you mamas out there like have like serious mama's boys, but this kid like always wants to be around me, always wants to be like touching me, and if he's away from me, he has a fit. I went to a baby shower this weekend and I was getting dressed and I had to leave like to get dressed. So then when I came down, he saw me all dressed up and he wasn't. He's like, where are you going? Like, why can't I go with you? And he was pretty upset. So we deal with like the separation anxiety quite a bit over here. So then in terms of his sleep, I feel like that has also played into his sleep. The fact that he is such a stage 5 clinger. Jackson used to be, like, let's rewind a little bit. Jackson used to be a great nighttime sleeper. And I used to be able to put him in his crib. Like he was still in his crib up until this point. I used to put him down in his crib. I would rock him first for a little bit and then just put him down in his crib. He wasn't completely asleep, but I'd say, okay, I'll see you in a little while. I'll see you in the morning. And usually he'd sleep through the night. And when I put him down, like, he didn't give me a hard time. Like, it's not like he would cry and I would have to like listen to him cry for hours and hours. Like, he'd just go to sleep. But then it got to a point as of recently, as of like the last couple of months, where if I left him in his crib, he didn't want me to leave. He'd say, Mama, Mama, don't go. And he'd make me sing 1,000,005 songs. And like, he would delay the process of me leaving as long as he could. And it was really exhausting because, again, I went from like a seamless, like, put him down and leave situation to now I had to spend a lot more time there with him, trying to make sure that he was fine so that I could finally leave, because I don't like to leave when he's like screaming his head off. That was definitely a change. So recently what we started doing, and I told you guys this in like the last vlog that I posted, we started just like trying to figure out what we could do so that he wasn't like terrified at night and wasn't having a fit. So we decided, like, why don't we just try to see if it's that he's like scared of being by himself or like he wants a buddy at night. So we decided to try out having him sleep in Riley's bed, because Riley has a full-size bed. It's not like a teeny tiny twin. So there's definitely space in there for both of them. So we didn't have very high expectations. I was like, they're not even gonna like to sleep next to each other. They're probably gonna kick each other in the face. Like, it's not gonna work out. They're gonna keep each other up. Maybe it's not gonna work out, but let's just try it, because like, what do we have to lose? So one night we put him in there next to Riley, and it actually worked. So now what happens is at night I get in the bed with both of them. I read them a book. Like, we do our prayers as a family, then I read them a book. And I usually will stay there for like 10 or 15 minutes until Jackson usually like just kind of falls asleep. Other times, like, I'll be like, okay, I can only be here for 5 or 10 minutes. Then Mama's gonna leave. But I do end up leaving, and then he sleeps throughout the night in Riley's bed. And it's worked out really nice. And then it's so cute because then they'll wake up together. And then usually like around 7:30 in the morning is when they'll come to my room and say, okay, Mama, it's morning time. But like, it's just cute to see like the little bond that they have, and they keep each other company. It's not something that I thought we would do. It's not like something that I even had on my radar, but at least for right this second, it's working. So bedtime for Jackson is usually around 8 or 8:30, and then I can usually count on him waking up around 7:30, maybe 8. Right now that's his schedule, and then he does still do a nap. So I also talked about this, the fact that he is the kind of child at this point that still needs a nap. I can tell that he gets very tired. So we've pushed his nap later and later, honestly, but these days, like around 2 or even 3 o'clock, I will take him to Riley's room where there is that full-size bed, and I will lay with him in the bed until he passes out and goes to sleep. And he will take a good like hour-long nap. Sometimes it's even longer. The other day he took a nap for almost 2 hours. It kind of just depends on like how tired he is and like when we go up there and like what's been going on. But usually, like, I don't think I've even had one time where I've taken him up there and then like tried to get him down for a nap and he didn't take it. So he is tired, and that's right now what's working. So again, I kind of sacrifice some of my time in like laying down next to him and like doing that whole thing so that he'll still take a nap, because dear Lord knows that I still need him to take a nap. But once he is asleep, like once I've laid there with him, he drifts off to nap, then I will get up out of the bed and like I can go do a few things. Like, sometimes I'm really tired. Sometimes I'll just like lay there with him and like scroll on my phone, or, you know, just do some stuff on my phone. But usually I will just kind of like roll out of the bed and then do my own thing. It gives me some time just to get some stuff done around the house, and he gets to take his nap. And then sometimes he'll like whimper, like if he wakes up in the middle of like a sleep cycle, and then I'll hear him, and then I'll go back in there and kind of like pat his back, and he can sometimes go back to sleep again and just do a longer stretch. But it is better than nothing at this point. And then like if we're out and about, like if it's a day where we have errands or we have play dates and he's in the car, usually I can count on him taking some kind of a nap while we're in the car. He will still very much fall asleep in the car seat. So sometimes, you know, the nap at home doesn't happen, but at least he gets a little bit of rest in the car. So those are some of like the big things. I'm trying to think of what else they did at the doctor. They did do like an eye exam on him, and the way that our doctor does it, it's like a little camera that they have the kids look at, and then I don't know, it like takes a picture of their eyes. Very easy. Jackson does not mind it at all. So they did that, and they said his eyes were fine. So that was good. I'm looking at this paper to see if I can remember like some of the other things that the doctor went over. So one of the things here that I did talk to the doctor about was like the nightmares, night terrors, because Jackson recently also started having these night terrors where he'd like be asleep but kind of awake, and like he looked terrified, and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? I would try to console him, but it was like very freaky because that never happened to me before with my kids that I could remember. But she did say that night terrors, nightmares are very common during this age. So like this little paper here says, nightmares and night awakenings are common at this age. If you haven't already, set up a regular bedtime routine to help your child fall asleep. Avoid scary or upsetting images or stories, especially before bed. So like common sense stuff like that. But just know that they are common. So it seems to happen to a lot of kids at this age. Okay, if you have noticed Jackson in the background and he's like walking around holding his butt, it's because he's trying to use the bathroom. He still has a diaper on there. Trying to use the bathroom, and that's like his new thing. Like he has a freaking poop dance. Like he walks around the house like holding his butt. I apologize if that's what you've been witnessing. I can't tell 100%, but I guess that'll be a good segue into the whole potty training situation. So no, he's not potty trained yet. He's home with me. I don't have to get him potty trained like for daycare or for preschool. So I'm not like in a huge hurry, but I know it has to happen soon. Like I already got him some little like underwear, like boys underwear, so that when we decide to start doing it, like we have some of that ready. But he's gonna be a very stubborn child to potty train, because as much as like I feel like he's ready, like he'll tell me now, like if I don't see him, I'm like, Jackson, where are you? And he'll tell me I'm pooping and playing. Like he knows that he's doing that. He knows when he's going to the bathroom. He definitely hides. It has to be a private thing. You can't look at him. He'll tell you, don't look at me, if he's actively going to the bathroom. But anytime that I see that, I'll try to encourage him using the bathroom, and I'll say, hey, do you want to go do pee-pee in the potty? Do you want to go sit on Riley's potty seat? And he will tell me no. He will straight up look at me dead in the face and say, no, maybe later. So he's not like super interested in it. And I don't want to force him. I don't want to traumatize him, because the same thing happened to me with Riley. I think the first time that I tried to potty train her, I think it was also like around the same age, like 3. And it was very miserable because she was just not ready. Like she didn't want to do it. Like she could have maybe, but she didn't want to. So it was just like really stressful. And then I waited like 6 months. And then the second time that we attempted it, she was like potty trained in 3 days. Super easy. Could not have been easier. Like it was great. So I feel like with Jackson, I've just got to really wait until he decides on his own that he's like really into it. So I'll keep asking him, like anytime that I'm using the bathroom or anytime that, you know, I see him near the bathroom, I will continue to ask him like, hey, you want to use the potty? You want to go sit there? We've told him like, hey, if you use the potty, you'll get some new cars, right? If you do pee-pee in the potty, will you get some new toys?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to want that? Do you want some new cars? You want a surprise car for doing pee-pee in the potty?
I don't a truck. A car.
Look, you'll get a monster car if you do pee-pee in the potty. You want to try it or no?
No.
No? Okay.
Come with me.
Come with you where?
Yeah.
So yeah, I promise you I'll keep you posted on how that goes whenever we start. I just think he's getting close. I think maybe in the next couple of months he'll get there. And then maybe in a couple of months, even if he's not 100% there, maybe we'll start doing like the bringing out the potty seat and leaving it out, seeing if maybe he develops an interest in it, and kind of take some baby steps. But I definitely want to try the baby steps before just going full-blown, like, you know, full-on potty training. And with Riley, we use the Oh Crap potty training, whatever the system. It's a book. It's called Oh Crap potty training. And it worked very well for us. And I have videos on how we potty trained Riley. I'll link them down below if I can remember, in case some of you guys are like in a similar boat where you're starting to think about that. But at the same time, Jackson's also a boy, so like I know it's gonna be a little bit more complicated given that things are different. So I don't know, I'm just like, maybe I'm psyching myself out too much about it. If you have tips, feel free to share them. But no, we have not officially started potty training perhaps soon. And then in terms of Jackson's development, I mean, really, I think he's doing well. This year we taught him how to count. So you saw a little bit of him counting. He can count to 10 and he also goes up in the numbers, but then he like skips a few numbers. I think it's like 13 that he forgets about or something, but he does know how to count. So we're counting often, and then he also knows his colors. So we taught him his colors this year. He also knows his shapes. So that's something else that he's mastered. What he has not yet mastered are his letters. And so I try to like have it be like a fun thing where we try to use puzzles and I try to get him interested in his letters, but he's definitely not as interested in them as Riley was at this age. So anytime that I'm homeschooling Riley and we're working on a letter and I have worksheets out or whatever it is that we're using to, you know, work on stuff with Riley, I will always, if he's around, if he passes by the table, I'll take that opportunity to show it to him, be like, what letter is this? This is the letter C. And then he's usually just not very interested. Like he keeps walking by, he just wants to play, and that's fine. Next year, we'll start doing some kind of like a pre-K 3 for Jackson, and that's kind of what I did with Riley too. Once Riley was like 3.5, almost 4, that's when we started doing like an actual pre-K 3 curriculum. So I'm just allowing him to have that same time and space to just play and be creative. And you know, we do a lot of Play-Doh, kinetic sand, that kind of thing. He does love to draw, so you guys have seen some of his little drawings. He does the little circle with the happy face inside, his little meat people that are just hysterical, and he likes to make them. So anytime that I have like construction paper and crayons and markers and stuff on the table for homeschool with Riley, I will always invite him to participate, and a lot of times he is interested in that kind of stuff. He also loves to like paint, so anytime I have paints or watercolors out, he likes to do that too. So we've done a lot of like the arts and crafts kinds of stuff with Jackson, and he seems to just be more interested in that kind of learning than like, I don't know, he just doesn't want to learn his alphabet. So I'm trying to not like stress out about it and force it on him. Like I know that kids are different. I'm sure he will pick up on it. If by next year he's still not picking up on it, then okay, we can try to be a little bit more hardcore in teaching him, but I'm not really too concerned about it because he's still a smart kid. I see that he's still learning things, and he, you know, picks up on things, and he retains a lot of information, and we watch a lot of shows, and then he'll remind me of things that he's seen. He's really good about stuff like that. And one of his favorite things to do, surprisingly, is like on TV, we'll watch a lot of like those nature shows and like about animals and stuff. Riley really likes them, but Jackson will sit down with her and he will watch them, and he's focused and attentive, and he learns about the animals. So I think it's really cool like to see him like enjoying content like that. I will tell you though that I was a little bit worried about Jackson for a while because he wasn't very interested in me like reading him books for a bit. Like I would bring a book off of his bookshelf and like read it to him, like sitting on his glider, you know, before bed, and he wasn't like too interested in it. Like his attention span was quite short. He wouldn't want me to like read all of the words on the pages. He really liked to just like look at stuff and point things out and, you know, talk about all the different cars on the page. But an actual story, like I wasn't seeing that he was interested in like following a complete story. And that was very different because Riley always loved that. But in the last like 3 or so weeks, I have seen so much more of an interest in him, and like he will go and pick out a book and he will tell me that he wants me to read it to him, and he will let me read the book from start to finish. And so that makes me happy because I know obviously that that's really good for kids for you to be reading them complete stories. And then in terms of his speech this year and maybe in like the last 6 months has completely exploded, where he has gained a lot in terms of vocabulary. So he will say a lot of different words where, again, maybe 6 months ago, his vocabulary was very, very small. The problem with Jackson at this point is like I can communicate with him and he can communicate with me and he can ask me for whatever it is that he needs, but his speech is not as like pronounced and not as, you know, clear as I was used to like with Riley's. Riley always had very clear speech. Jackson's is not as clear. So that's something that we're gonna be working on. Like there's certain sounds that he like struggles to make, and like my sister's a speech therapist, so like whenever we see my sister, she'll try to work with him like on the S sound. Like she was trying to teach him like, you know, to use your S's. Like she taught him something like use your snake sound and make the snake sound and then add it to the word. So there's certain sounds that we have to work on with him, but he can definitely communicate what he wants, and he learns from just listening to Riley talk all day, and by learning from watching all the shows that we watch. And I'm home with him all day, I'm talking to him all day, so he can communicate. He has plenty of words, like words that even surprise me. Like these days I'm like, where'd you learn that word? And so it's been so fun just to see his personality develop, and like he'll tell me like, I'll be right back in a minute, and like he hears me say things and he repeats it. It's really funny. But his pronunciation of words, I know we have to work on a bit, so we'll keep an eye on it. And again, I have family that can help if we need to do some kind of speech therapy with him. But overall, I'm just really happy that we went from a place where he really wasn't saying a whole lot to a point like now where he is saying a lot, and really like him and Riley like don't stop talking all day long, and then they're fighting all day long. But now I can understand what they're fighting about because I hear him and he's telling her specific things. So that has been super fun. Sorry, I had given him my phone to watch because he was not staying still for 2 seconds, and his iPad was not charged, so he's been using my phone. But this is something that he will still do. Like he's very much into his iPad time, and he plays games now, you guys. It's so cute to watch him like actually do like the games that Riley used to do at this age, like the puzzle games, like the toddler puzzles where they have to like put the puzzle pieces together. There's quite a few games on his iPad that he'll play. There's even like a Paw Patrol game that he loves to play, and I'm like, how did you even learn how to play that? Like, I don't even know how to play that. I've been wanting to do like a what's on my kid's iPad, tablet, whatever video. So that's one of the things that I plan on filming very soon. So that way, if you want to like download some games or download some apps, you guys know at least what we have on, like the ones for Riley and Jackson. But he loves to watch like YouTube Kids and like the Cars videos and like the unboxing of the cars, like the dumbest things, but he will do that. But I will tell you that like the tablet time, like the iPad time, we do try to limit that to about like an hour a day. He gets less than that. Like Riley's the one that gets more because she uses her tablet for quiet time. So when Jackson is napping, that's when Riley gets her tablet. But Jackson, there are some days where he'll ask me for his iPad, and then we use it as just like a little bit of an extended quiet time, and he'll just play with it on the couch. But we do try to keep it to about 45 minutes, an hour. Like I don't want him on his iPad all day long, but he likes it, and he likes to watch his shows, and he likes to watch Blippi and all of those things. So we try to balance it, but yes, my kids very much have screen time. All right, I was gonna see if Jackson would show you guys like him pretend playing, but apparently he does not want to at this moment. But what I was trying to say is that as much like screen time as he gets, the kids do a lot of pretend play. So like this is like a new little dentist set that the kids got, and he got him like with the teeth, and he'll often like just grab the basket and just, you'll find him like by the couch, and he's playing pretend, and he's flossing the teeth and brushing the teeth and being the dentist. So that I've enjoyed seeing him do like a lot of pretend play. He got this fire truck, firehouse for Christmas, and he'll get the little car and the fireman, and he pretend plays throughout the entire building. So that's been really cute to see him do that like on his own, but also with Riley. What are you saying?
Dentist is boring.
Dentist is boring? Dentist is not boring. It's really good.
Dentist is boring.
So should I donate this toy then?
Yeah.
I should donate it? Okay, cool. Are you putting the braces on?
No.
No? Are his teeth dirty?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, maybe you can help him. Maybe you can brush them a little bit. Why don't you brush them for him?
Mama,
Show him.
Mama, look.
What is that?
It's a jollibee.
A what? Oh,
It's
a cavity?
yeah.
Okay, put the cavity in his mouth then.
No.
What color is the cavity?
Brown.
Brown. Do you have any cavities?
No.
No? Oh, no. Well, brush the teeth.
No.
No? Do you need the drill?
Yeah.
Okay. What flavor is that?
It's
What flavor?
like it's nice.
It's pink, but it's bubblegum. How do you say bubblegum?
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum. All right, fix his teeth. Wow, you're a good dentist. So yeah, that's just like a little glimpse of some of the stuff that he does. And like right now he's like not feeling it. He wants to go back to watching my phone. So he's like, this is boring. You gotta just go watch my phone. So whatever. I'm not gonna force him for the sake of a video, but stick around. I'm sure that in the vlogs you guys will see him just like, I don't know, he's turned into this little tiny person. And it definitely makes me sad because he's not a little toddler anymore. Like he's not a tiny baby anymore. I will still forever call him Baby J. He will always be my baby, but you know, he's definitely not a baby. He's 3 years old and he's just wild. He's always finding a way to like just get himself into trouble, like trying to hurt himself. Like having a 3-year-old boy is no joke. So if you're in the same boat, I'm very sorry. I don't remember like things being this violent with Riley, but with Jackson, it's like every day he's like trying to break his face in some way, or it's just pure chaos. Yeah, it's different. And Joe's here. He's like, yeah, he's a boy, and it's just a little crazy. Hi. We are in a love for Paw Patrol stage. He's obsessed still with Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol was his birthday theme, and he's been asking for a Paw Patrol themed room. So pretty soon, I forgot to mention it when we were talking about sleep, but we're gonna probably be transitioning him soon to either like a twin bed or a full-size bed, like give him an actual big boy bed since that seems to work well for him. And I want to be able to get in the bed with him also. And I think with a toddler bed, it's like too small and there's like a railing, so that's not gonna work. So we'll probably get him a big bed, and then when we do, we'll kind of theme it so that it's Paw Patrol and get him excited about it so he's not afraid to be in his room. So that's something that he's into, that he likes, and that we'll probably be doing here in the future. But that's really it. I hope I didn't miss a whole bunch of stuff. This time when we went for his checkup, he wasn't due for any of his shots. They asked me if I wanted to do the flu shot. I declined the flu shot because, first of all, like, I don't love to get the flu shot every year. Maybe that's controversial, maybe it's not, whatever. But the kids also had the flu earlier this season anyway, so they got natural immunity to that. And when they had the flu, like when Jackson was sick, he got maybe a fever a day or two, and then I gave him Tylenol. It went down, and that was like the extent of it. A little bit of coughing, but nothing like super serious or complicated, thank the Lord. But I was happy that I didn't need to give him like any of his other shots because he probably would not have liked that. So anyway, like I said, I hope that I didn't miss anything, but if you have specific questions or if there's something that, Joseph, go upstairs. If there's anything in particular that you want to ask me, I will try to respond to it. So just like leave it in the comment and I'll try to get to that. But 3 is really fun. Like it's wild and it's exhausting, but it's also really fun because now is when, like I said, like he's getting this little personality and he's this tiny little person and you have conversations and he talks back to you, and as annoying as that can be sometimes, it's just so funny to see like what they come up with, and it's just really fun. So I love you guys. I hope that was a pretty decent update for you guys, and you kind of have an idea of where he's at 3. It's crazy that I did these updates like since he's like a baby, right? And here he is, freaking 3 years old. Bless you. So that just makes me feel super old. But thanks for being here and for, you know, just caring to see how he's doing. I love you guys, and just stick around. Like I said, lots of videos to come, vlogs. If you have any questions, let me know. But thank you for being here and for listening. And make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Hey, Jackson, what have you been doing?
I've been doing water the whole time still.
You've been watching your iPad the whole time?
Yeah, and it's broken.
It's broken? The iPad's broken, so you're using my phone?
We're watching Cars.
You're watching Cars?
Yeah.
Why is that so fun?
Don't I like Cars?
You like Cars?
Yeah.
Are you ready to eat some dinner?
No.
What do you mean no?
I don't like it.
How about you eat some pizza?
But eat it in one.
In the restaurant?
Yeah.
You didn't like it in the restaurant?
No.
I can make you a yummy pizza. Hey, what else do you want to eat for dinner?
Strawberry.
Strawberries? And what else?
I don't want to eat dinner right now. I'm decorating my houses.
You're decorating your houses? Really?
I have more houses than just one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what game is this?
It's Choco Life World.
Oh, yeah? And what do you do in this game?
I just play. I play and actually make houses and make people. If I run out of houses, I can buy even more if I want.
buy? Like you have to ask your father?
Yeah, I have to ask my father.
Yeah? Okay. Cool beans. So you get to be creative
Yeah.
and be an interior decorator.
Yeah.
Cool. Jackson, do you want to eat celery soup for dinner?
Yeah.
No? How about broccoli pasta?
Yeah.
Well, then what do you want to eat for dinner?
Like blueberries.
Blueberries? Okay, can you say bye to your friends?
Have fun.
Can you look at them and say bye?
Bye.
Say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. That you nighttime.